What is accounting? Accounting is a useful way of recording and summarizing financial information. Businesses use accounting to keep their financial information organized, which helps them in making sense of their financial data and also keeps them compliant of financial regulations. Accounting consists of two parts, bookkeeping and analysis. Don't worry, I'll briefly explain these in a moment. Bookkeeping, which is also known as financial accounting, is the process of recording and summarizing financial information. Bookkeeping involves the recording of transactions such as sales, purchases, and expenses, which are then summarized and presented in the form of financial statements that show the overall health of the business. Bookkeeping helps to organize the financial data, which facilitates the effective management of a business by providing key information such as how profitable the business is, how much money business owes to lenders, how much money customers owe to the business, how much tax needs to be paid, and so on. Bookkeeping is the backbone of an accounting system and forms the basis for analysis in management accounting. Management accounting provides information for decision-making, planning, and control of the business. For example, information relating to investment decisions, budgeting, and performance measurement. To summarize, accounting is a reliable process for recording, organizing, and analyzing financial information, which helps in the effective management of business. I hope this video has given you a brief introduction to accounting. If you found this video helpful, do leave us a like or a comment. It would mean a lot if you share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Career Insider Series 3. And today we are actually going to be talking about accountancy. All right, so for the past two episodes, we have discussed about IT and computer science in our first episode. Episode 2, we talk about creative communications, where we actually get Fadli to talk about social media marketing, social media management, and he's a digital marketing expert, right? So on this evening, it's a public holiday today, and you are spending your time here. There are about 31 people here. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Brian, and this stream is brought to you by Study Hub Student Advisory and JS Study Solutions. All right, so what we are going to do is in this 1 hour series, you just sit back, relax. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of questions about accounting. Today we have a very special guest with us here, and he is a lead audit director from Deloitte, right? So Deloitte, as you know, is a big four company. It's one of the four largest accounting company in the whole world, and together with Mr. Eric, we hope to be able to answer some of your burning questions about accounting, auditing, career. Is it a viable career for you? Are you suitable to be studying in this career, and so on? So what I wish all of you can do, all 30 over of you, is if you are watching this stream right now, what you can do is go to our page, like us, and remember, please share this stream out there, because speaking with an audit director is a very rare opportunity. Okay, and especially at this time of MCO period, you know, everyone is just busy struggling to survive, and businesses are heavily affected. And I'm pretty sure Mr. Eric is a very busy person as well. So we want as many people as possible to be able to watch this stream and to be able to learn more from Mr. Eric regarding on his 13 years experience in the industry as an auditor. All right. So remember, share the stream out there, and like our page. If you have any questions at any point of time, you can leave us a question at the comment section below. Okay. So of course, we will really appreciate you to share this out, let more people know, and we'll be really grateful. All right. So without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Eric Teo. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Brian.
Hi. Thank you for
Hi.
being a guest speaker for our series today, and I'm really excited to be able to speak with you and ask you a lot of burning questions where a lot of students are really curious to find out about. Maybe Eric, you can briefly introduce yourself. Yeah.
Thanks. Hi, Brian. Thanks for inviting me to give this talk to the students. You know, it's a great opportunity to share my experience to everyone who listening to this live, right? So my just to start with, you know, my personal experience. You know, I've been with Deloitte with about 13 years. So actually, this is my first job, you know, yeah, since I graduated from university. So basically I started from very junior level as a staff assistant, and and right now I'm the lead audit director with Deloitte Malaysia.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving us a very clear and concise introduction, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not so familiar with Deloitte Malaysia, Deloitte is a big four firm where there are four of the largest company in accounting, all right? And most of the public listed companies will hire these four companies, and the big four are namely KPMG, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst and Young, and Deloitte. Okay, so this is for the context of some of you who do not understand or have not heard of Deloitte before. And but I'm pretty sure if you are interested in accounting, you have known Big Four, or you have heard of Deloitte. All right, great. So let's quickly jump into of the first thing where Eric can share with us is maybe Eric, you can actually share with us a quick overview of the different areas of accountancy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. About Deloitte Malaysia, basically we are different. We have many different functions. So basically, the main one would be the auditing. audit functions. We have tax department. We have advisory. We have consulting department as well. So so all these are actually, you need to equip yourself with the accounting background.
Yeah. So maybe Eric, what you can do is also to give us an overview. What is the difference between we have heard a lot about accounting, right? We study accounting in school. Accounting is one of the elective subject in most schools, right? But when we go into the workplace, the word suddenly changed to audit, right? What is the difference between accounting and audit?
Yeah, I
Just
think the main difference, in auditing and accounting will be, auditing will be, we have two parts, one is internal and one is external audits. So what I'm in right now actually in as an external auditor. We as an audit, in audit we don't prepare the accounts, we examine the accounts, prepared by someone else. So
Okay.
in this all the business actually required the accountants. So so for every business, you can be like in your live video just now, you briefly explained about bookkeeping, right? So you need someone who have equipped themselves with accounting knowledge to prepare the book book record, for the company.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So auditing is basically accounting is basically bookkeeping, and auditing is basically examining it, right?
Yeah,
And
correct.
yeah. Okay. So I'm pretty sure, Eric, you studied accounting last time. Where did you study? Maybe you can.
I'm studying in University of Technology Sydney. So
Okay.
I actually took a training program. I started my university 1.5 years in Taylor's
All right.
in Subang,
All
and
right.
I continued another 1.5 years in Sydney to
Okay.
complete my study.
All
Yeah.
right. So what is it like? So you're studying accounting. Maybe because I think most of our listeners here today are secondary school students,
Yeah.
and all of some of them, probably take principal accountant in school.
Mm-mm.
So maybe you can give us uh, a comparison of what we learn in principal accountant and
Yeah.
also in university. Yeah.
Yeah, just share a little bit more. My personal experience is,
Yeah.
when I'm in high school. When I'm in high school, I'm actually in a science class,
Okay.
right? But I do have a subject, for account, in my high school, and
Yeah.
I have very good result in account, compared to my science result, right?
Yeah.
So and I do maths. I like maths. I like all the calculations. In high school, basically what you the things that you have done is basically all the double entries. You debit and credit and all this. But when I move on, when I graduate, when I moved to university, when I decided to pursue further with accounts, and and then I realized it's a very much different compared to what I studied in high school, where
Okay.
you do all the calculation in terms of double entry, right?
Yep.
So in university, basically, the we cover a lot on the accounting standards, so it require a lot of readings. It basically give a very thick handbook. You required to study all the standards.
Okay.
Why, it's not so straightforward in terms of like just give an example, in terms of revenue recognitions, right?
Right.
So in the past, when you sell something, is your accounting record basically is just a debit, debit receivable and credit revenue, correct?
Right.
But when you when you go into deeper understanding about the requirement of the standards, it's not so straightforward. You need to meet a certain criteria in terms of risk and rewards. There is the old standard, but right now we have another new standards, called is totally different requirement as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Studying accounting in university, getting a degree, how much maths is there involved? Do a student have to be very good in maths?
Um, to me, it's not really required because in university it's not required. Like I mentioned, it's not required to do a lot of calculations. You know, you required to know about the accounting standards. You know,
Okay.
so yeah, and it require a lot. You know, especially when you when you are in auditing, right?
Mm.
It required to apply a lot of knowledge,
Okay.
yeah, rather than calculations, because in in the current world with all the
Mm.
technology advancements, you know, we have all the technology with us, right? We have, you
Yeah.
know, when we do auditing, we have the audit software, you know, where we can help us to compute a lot of informations in terms of the ratio, you know, debt to equity ratios. There
All
are
right.
formulas there, so we don't really need to go to have to require us to do the manual calculations.
Yeah.
The fact that actually it required to apply a lot of require us to do a lot of analysis, you know,
Okay.
because when you're doing audit, you require to analyze the company. You require to have the knowledge about the particular company
That's right.
before you can actually pose the relevant questions
Okay.
to the client.
That's right. You know,
Yeah.
when people talk about further studying, when I decide to further study in medicine, say for example, you need to be very good in memorizing the
Mm.
terminology. You know, you need to be able to understand. You know, biology. If I want to study IT, computer science, I need to be very analytical. I need to practice, have a good problem solving skill. What about studying accounting? What are the traits or skill sets that the students should possess in order to be a good accounting student? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Like I mentioned, you know, the accounting standards is keep changing, right?
yep, that's
You
right.
know, is it, I always mentions, you know, it's not really required to be very good in memorizing all the accounting standards. You know,
That's right.
if you can remember all the accounting standards now,
Yeah,
but in 5 years later or 10 years later, that will eventually become an old standards. So
it obsoletes,
they
right?
are,
No more.
because they are always they have new standards, you know,
Yeah, it
to
replaces the
be
new one.
effective in
Yeah,
the future,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So so is to be good in doing audit. Actually, you require to do a lot of study in terms of understanding the company business, you know,
okay,
the environment the business
right,
is operating in, you know,
okay,
because you when you join audit, you know, basically you expose yourself to many different industry. You
that's right.
know, you can trading business, manufacturing business, yeah,
Yeah,
real estate, you know, all different business. So is you when you're doing audit, you require to apply your knowledge, you know, your common sense, whether in
okay,
this particular period of time, you know, you are if is is this company performing based on what you are understanding. So let's quote
right,
another example. Like
okay,
you know, uh, uh, right now, you know, all most of the business is affected by the COVID-19, right?
yeah,
Especially the MCO
absolutely.
announced
Yeah,
on the 18th of March.
that's
So
right.
let's take example of retail business, right? You know,
Mm,
those open retail business in shopping mall, right?
mm,
This during this period is, I'm sure, you know, most of them are badly affected, you know, by this COVID-19. You know, they can't operate their business at all, and
yep,
they have to continue to pay all the fixed costs, like the rental costs, you know, the staff costs, you know,
that's right.
yeah. So when you are doing audit, when you receive the management account from the management from the client,
Mm,
right?
yeah,
If
yeah,
you see their result is exceptionally well, you know, compared
yeah,
to other business. But
yeah,
you know, so come to audit, we as an auditor, we will then questions what happened. You know, is this why are they doing so well during this period compared to
yeah,
other peers, you know, in the same industry,
that's
right?
right.
So
Yeah,
so we tend to have a lot of questions, need
mm,
question mind need
mm,
to be asked and to be clear and in doing auditing.
Okay.
So we require to do a lot of analysis.
All right. Yeah. So I think um, in order to study accounting, a student don't really necessarily have to be good in maths, because it is the maths part is solved by software technology. The formulas are all included. You just have to know how to use it. You need to have a very analytical mind and common sense, lots of common sense, into
Yeah,
understanding
correct.
businesses, right?
Yes.
I think you gave a very well overview on what students need to do, in order to be a successful accounting student.
Yeah.
And there's another, but before we move on to any more further questions, thank you for watching us. This is Career Insider Series 3, and today we are talking about accounting, and we have Mr. Eric Teo here. He's the lead audit director from Deloitte, Malaysia. And if you have any burning questions related to accounting, anything related to career, anything related to studying in this field, you should absolutely leave a comment. Okay, and we will make sure to run through every single comment for all of you. Okay, so I'm pretty sure a lot of students here have this question: do I need to do professional accounting? Because there is degree, right? Degree in accountancy, degree in finance accounting. So many universities out there are offering this kind of programs. Okay, but do I have to do professional accounting? The ACCA, the ICAEWs, the MICPA, the CPA, so on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, it is because we call ourselves professional, right?
Right.
All the professional accounting bodies actually have an important mandate of representing or promoting the global accountancy professions.
Right.
So we are the auditing. We actually tend to protect the public interest, because we have to ensure the financial statement are prepared true and fair, because the especially for the public listed company, a lot of investors will use the financial informations to in for making
Make
their
decisions.
investment
Right.
decisions. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, making decisions in for their investment, right?
Yeah.
So so is we will need to pursue, it's required for us to have these professional certifications,
Mm.
yeah, in doing audit.
Yep. But is
Yeah.
it compulsory, in order to get to work in the Big Four, like Deloitte himself? Yeah.
I would say it's highly recommended. Yeah,
Yep.
I would say highly recommended. Of course, when you move to a certain level, I think is I would say it's compulsory that you're required to complete to have the professional paper,
Mm.
in order for you to move to the next level.
Right. So for students who
Yeah.
don't understand what professional paper is, professional certification basically, you have to be qualified through some sort of examinations, and with that you will be a chartered accountant. So actually, if you just graduate with a degree, you are not a chartered accountant yet. So you need to be qualified, and you need to be recognized by a board, whether it's MIA, ACCA, MICPA, etc. Right? So there has to be a board that recognizes it, right? So Eric, so what professional certification do you choose?
Yeah, I choose CPA.
Okay,
Yeah.
so CPA is
Like,
From Australia, right?
yeah, from Australia. So
Yeah.
they are different syllabus, among all the different
Mm,
professional body.
mm,
So I because my university in Sydney in Australia. So
mm.
I choose CPA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So basically, I think you are very used to the Australian system. So hence the professional certification you
yeah.
choose like the Australian paper. Yeah, that's a wise decision. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you students out there who have a lot of who is wondering, should I do professional certification directly after high school, or should I just do a degree first? You can just leave the question at the comment section, and we will answer it for you. So, Eric, you are the audit director in Deloitte Malaysia. Can you share with us what is your day to day? job scope like? Yeah.
Yeah, my day-to-day job scope is to ensure the uh, the audit teams on the field, yeah, receive the enough guidance and support, and also we work closely with the client to make sure to ensure the timeline is met, to meet the client expectations.
That's
So
right.
we in my role basically I will have a set of the portfolio, right? So the portfolio, my role is to ensure that we the uh, assign to the manager,
Okay.
to based on their capability. Because
Mm,
as I mentioned, my portfolio basically have a mix of the industry. I have
mm,
trading business, I have manufacturing, I have real estate business. It's all different areas. So it need to be done by certain manager,
mm.
or by the team with different capability with the industry knowledge. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
my role, because in audit we basically is required to work as a team. So my role is to ensure the to set expectations for the team,
All
yeah,
right.
and communicate, what are the areas need to be focused on, things like that.
Okay, okay. But of course, I mean, Eric, you are the director in audit, right? So you what your role now is managing the day-to-day operations of Deloitte
Yeah,
in terms of the auditing business.
yeah,
Let's say if I'm a fresh graduate, or I'm somewhat a more junior rank auditor. Okay. I'm pretty sure you have been through that, because you have been with Deloitte, from the very beginning until today. Maybe you can also share with us, what do auditors, the one that who goes to companies to audit, yeah. So what do they do when they go for external auditing?
yeah. I think, okay, just share more about my experience. When
Yeah.
I started off in audit,
Yeah.
as an auditor.
All right.
Yeah. So it basically, I have zero knowledge about auditing. Yeah.
Okay.
And when I joined, I basically assigned a very basic task. Just probably uh do some research, perform some testing about the those basic account, for example, expenses,
Okay.
other income. So these account balances are basically, is not required to have a lot of judgments, because
Okay.
it's quite straightforward. You incur, then you record,
Mm.
so it's not require a lot of estimates and judgment. So these are the area that I get to learn as a staff assistant, for the first year.
Mm.
Then, after a year,
Mm.
I move on to the second level. Then I basically have more experience. I tend to expose to more difficult areas, yeah, and tend to cover more areas of the account, because we entire the whole financial statements. So we need to, there are many areas to be covered. So we learn from the basic, then we go into the details. So
Okay.
when move on to the senior level, basically you are able to lead a small team, maybe, a small team, maybe one or two people or three people in the team. It depends on the size of the engagements, right?
All right.
So so when you are the senior level, basically you roughly, you know about the whole processes, you
Mm.
know and when you move on to the next level, a assistant manager will be, you should equip yourself, with more knowledge, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
when come to manager, you are basically have a set of the portfolio to handle.
All right.
Right. So this is the very general understanding about the from a junior level move to the manager level. So to me, I would like to explain more about the when you are doing audit, it's not just about uh, uh, learn how to do audit in terms of, calculate sample size, how many sample you require to test, to get from the
Right.
client. It's not just that, right?
Yeah.
Also, you learn about the accounting standards. Like I mentioned, No matter how good you learn about accounting standards, 5 years later it will become the old standards. So there are many other things, skills that we can learn through audit, like the communication skill, how do you build your relationship, teamwork, project management, time management. So these are the skills that you learn. I learned the most throughout this 13 years tenure with Deloitte Malaysia. So
Mm.
I really want to emphasize this, because these are the skills that you learn will eventually follow you, for your entire life.
Yeah.
If one day you decided not to continue with audit, you want to move on to other industry, want to move on to the commercial. These are the skills that actually follow you.
That's right. But
Yeah.
I think in addition to that, because an auditor conduct a lot of external audits, right? And the auditors get the opportunity to learn a lot on different business operation, different business model, understands how certain business works, etc., and so on. Am I
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, correct. Because auditing is, I would say, is the only professions that allow you to see how people run their business. Get to see their operations and understand in details how they run their business. So, like manufacturing, I you get to see their, from a raw material become a finished goods, right? So, like,
Yep.
how they produce a shoe, a
Yep.
pair of shoe, how they produce, so
Mm.
from a very raw material, how they become a finished good, and then
Okay.
place it on the store to sell. So you're able to see the entire process,
Okay.
and the this is an interesting part. And
All right.
also, when you do store takes, it depends on the certain industry. You're able to climb a silo middle of the night, because sometimes the business is, they are cut off, because they have to close the book on the last day of the financial year. So let's say their financial year is 31st December 2019, right?
Right.
So
Right.
on that night, midnight, before uh, midnight, they have to close and have to stop the operations. You have to be there to perform the store take. So these are the interesting area. And also, you have to, is also able for you to learn about the business, how you see the same company, same business, run by different managements.
Yeah.
The result can be very different,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
you can able to see how good one person can run their business. They have very
Okay.
good, operations, the management skill and all that. So
Mm.
these are the area that you are able to learn throughout this, by doing audit.
Okay. All right. All
Yeah.
right. That is a very interesting perspective, right? Okay, getting to climb the silo and just to adapt to and learn all about all other different businesses, because there are so many different businesses out there in Malaysia. Okay. All right. So looking at the comment section, we actually have a question from Liam Ang. All right. So Liam asked, which professional certification is highly recommended? ICAEW or CPA and etc. Uh, Eric, your take?
Mm, I okay. I would say, uh, if you ask me to choose again, I would say CPA, right? Because again, I like the mentions. I am familiar with Australia, because I graduated from UTS, Australia. So definitely I will go back to Australia, CPA again.
Yeah. I think to answer Liam, to answer your question, you first have to understand the different how to say accounting body, ICAW, ACCA, CPA, MICPA. There's so many out there. Okay, but the popular one is basically this few. Okay, and also you need to understand pathways. The pathway, some you require a degree, then only you can further study to get your professional certification. Some don't need, some have a pathway directly from after high school. If you're very certain that accounting is what you want to do, and academically you are okay. That means your results are A's and B's. You're okay with it. Then directly into one of the professional certification is a good idea, because you get to graduate by the age of 2021 with a CA title, right? But the thing is, it's not an easy job. It's extremely tough. So I would recommend you to really analyze the courses, the syllabus. If you want to know more and you want to learn more, you should just drop us a private message in our page and inboxes. And one of our counselors will actually assist you. Thank you so much for your question, Liam. And if any of you have any questions, leave us a comment at the comment section. We will answer every of your questions. Okay. Back to you, Eric. You gave us a good overview of what auditing is like, but I'm pretty sure a lot of students have these questions, right? And this is based on lots and lots of feedbacks from seniors, from the parents, from relatives, uncle, neighbors. They always say auditors, accountants work long hours. They always stay until late. What's your take, Eric?
Okay, I think to me, I would say work long hours is not the priority concern, because of course I know in a lot of people have the impressions that by doing audit is require very long hours. Yeah, I would say it's true sometimes, because we have a lot of deadline to meet, especially listed company. When you are auditing listed company, you require to complete a certain period of time for the announcement, to complete the annual report and all that. So we can't avoid that. To certain extent we require to work long hours, but to me, most important thing is we is about learning, about getting obtaining knowledge, get the skill that you have as a fresh grad, because that's to me the knowledge and the skill will actually bring more value to you, because we need to work hard to get a good result, right? You can't just expect normal 8 to 5 job, and you expect you put very high expectations to get very good pay by just working 8 to 5 job, right?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there is a peak period for accountants, right? And it is not really every day you have to work long hours, because that would be crazy. Okay. When is the peak period like? When is it normally located in?
Normally the peak period would be from January to March or April.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the company, their financial year end will be in December 2019. December, right? So yes, that is really is a peak period. So it's about I think one of the things I would like to share is because uh uh ba- now the technology advancements. In the past, when I joined as a fresh grad in audit, from from 10 years ago, is the environment is very much different compared to now. 10 years ago when I joined as a SA, when I started off as a SA, or senior, because a lot of work is required to be done manually, right? A lot of things need to be done manually. So, but with now, with all the technology, we have all the the audit tools. A lot of certain things can be automated, right? So we actually, in a way that we have more efficiency, and we can perform our audit faster, complete faster and complete in a more efficient way. So actually, we reduce our working hours as well. So in the past 10 years ago, I really work very hard. Because and yeah, I really put a lot of effort and times, in office. And but now I think the environment is changed. It's
Yeah,
different. It's not required every day to work, until midnight.
that's right.
To me, it's only certain days.
Hmm. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, in every industry, there are certain type of work you will need to put in the long working hours, and I think we can see during this MCO period, actually a lot of work can get done at home, right? And it's not necessarily we have to put in all of the working hours and just lock yourself in the office, and this MCO period has really proven that as well. Um, we are actually going to look at one of the questions that is posted by a student. Okay, the question is from Che Zoe. Zoe's question is it better to get a degree and an ACCA cert or only an ACCA cert? That means a degree and an ACCA, or just directly go into ACCA. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Eric, what do you think? Do you think a student should start off with a degree first or should go into professional?
I think my advice is you need to think about your career, about your
Mm,
future, what you
yeah,
really want to do in the future.
right.
Whether if you have considered, you know and consider whether you really want to do accounting and you really like accounts, right? So
Okay.
my advice, you can pursue ACCA straight
Mm,
after high school.
mm, yeah. Okay. So my take is simple. First, I will ask you: are you really sure accounting is what you want to do? And secondly, I will ask, how's your results like? Because it's quite academically intense if you do professional certification right away. And if you were to do a professional certification right away, it's very hard to do a diversification. Like, let's say now you're probably 18, you're choosing which one to do, and by 19 years old, you have done 1 year in professional certification. You're like, I'm not sure if this is what I want. Then it's actually how to say, it is a little bit difficult to switch major, because you have already put 1 year there.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were to do a university degree, you start off in a pre-U. Let's say you do a foundation, and by when you done your foundation, you're not sure if accounting is what you want to do. Then you can probably switch to something else. There's more flexibility there. Even if you have done your first year in degree in accounting and finance, there is still a certain flexibility to switch to a business degree that has nothing to do with accounting, in case you change your mind. Which is why we have a session like this today for students. When you're thinking about doing accounting, this is the time for you to ask absolutely any question, because we have um, an audit director here who is in the industry. Okay, he's here. He's in the industry, and he can help you answer any confusion, any burning questions you have in mind. Okay, so I hope that helps you, Zoe. All right. So next is I'm pretty sure you have spent your entire working career in Deloitte so far, okay? And 13 years is a pretty long time. But you have gotten to where you want to go to, which is you're right now managing the audit business within Deloitte. Can you briefly share with us, okay? According to your experience, what are the differences between like a big accounting firm and a smaller accounting firm? Yeah.
Yeah. The differences is, I would say, is the level and the details of the audit work performed, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, in terms of smaller firm, yeah, I would say the obviously the portfolio size will be very much different compared to bigger firms. Yeah,
Okay.
because for big four, is more systematic,
All
and
right.
and the industry they are exposed to is a bigger industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like as mentioned, you are higher chances to do audit in public listed company.
That's right. Is
Yeah.
it true that most public listed company in Bursa, Malaysia, will normally choose a big four to be audited?
Yeah, it depends. Yeah,
Okay.
it depends. I would say it's a mix. Yeah. Uh,
Mm.
then probably instead of just saying big and small, I would say big, small, big, medium, and small. Right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I would say majority done by big and medium.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
smaller mom and pop shop Sendirian Berhad will be probably be
Yes.
quite smaller.
Correct.
Okay, okay. And I think just for the benefit of the audience, why public listed companies like to engage bigger accounting firms, because um it's a brand there, Big Four is a brand. A Deloitte itself is a brand. So which is why a business needs accountability, and the brand assures the accountability. Yeah, so that is the which is why uh, many public listed companies will look for bigger auditing firms. Hence, people who works in bigger auditing firms or accounting firms gets a relative bigger size of exposure. Yeah. um, Eric, can you perhaps share with us, or what are the perks like working in a big four? What are the benefits? Yeah,
Mm, what are the benefits? To
yeah.
me,
Like how's the entry salary like? I'm pretty sure a lot of us here are very very interested to know.
if I remember correctly, it's about entry is about 3,000.
3,000 ringgit. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
3,000 ringgit.
As a fresh grad, as a fresh
Okay.
grad. Yeah,
This is degree level,
yeah,
or
degree level. Yeah.
if a
I started
student.
off with my degree 13 years ago. I think, if I remember correctly, I think some around 2005 or below.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but now oh yeah, now have increased.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think your salary must have increased exponentially,
Yeah.
right?
But
Um,
Brian, I think just one
mm,
important thing I want to say is, yeah, yeah, when we come to work, of course, salary is really important
yeah,
factors, because it's what we is what we where we earn for living, to buy, all the necessary,
good. Yeah,
buy car, buy house, and all that. But
yeah,
uh, but as a fresh grad, my advice is, look forward, think about future, right? Like I mentioned, knowledge and skill is really important.
that's right.
Knowledge and skill that is really bring value to you, right? If you don't equip yourself with good knowledge and skill
Mm,
that, throughout the period that you are doing audit, let's say, right? Your I would say you remain your positions for 5 years, right? You don't learn, but
mm,
you compare to the other person that actually learn as much as they can. They equip themselves with good knowledge and skill.
mm,
They
mm.
can go out and they can demand more
Yep.
for their salary, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't you don't have knowledge and skill. You can't go out to demand. So as a fresh grad, you basically is a piece of blank paper,
Yeah.
right? So you need to fill up, the paper with colorful, and then you can, so people can see the value in you and can hire you and pay you more.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you demand very highly in your first job, but the job market right now is also a very competitive industry, right? Especially the business is not doing well as well. Um, so if you demand so highly in the beginning, and where's the chance for people to grow, right? Where's the growth in this in salary, and which is why especially for big firms, I think a starting salary right now is 3,000 is a very fair amounts, I'm pretty sure there are annual increments depending on performance and etc. Right, Eric?
Yeah.
Yep, of course. Yep. And I'm Eric, do you do hiring yourself?
Yeah, our HR department basically will arrange a interview.
Yep.
So I basically get to interview some of the new joiners or some of the
Okay.
experienced hire as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you interview both fresh grads and experienced hires, right?
yeah,
So normally, what do you look for? What kind of traits do you look for in a fresh grad? May I ask?
yeah. It really depends. You know, if a fresh grad, of course, I will look at how the person, uh, uh, the candidates actually carry out themselves in terms
Okay.
of first we'll look at the impressions, you know, the image, you know, whether you have a proper attire, you dress up, you know, look like a professional, you know, yeah, you know, professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then by throughout the interview, I will see how you respond to, you know, basically I will try to ask some general questions to understand how this person, to understand what are the activities that involve in the university. Do they
Yep.
involve in, you know, group assignments? I'm sure most of the candidates they do, right?
Mhm.
So do they hold any positions in
Mm.
doing that project? So right? Are they leading the team? You know, because why I ask all these questions is basically when you do audit, is about the another important thing is about teamwork, right?
Mm.
You
Mm.
you 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 require a team to perform the audit. You can't do the audit alone yourself,
That's
right?
right.
A team, you require the signing partner.
Mm.
You require manager to be on the field as well. You know,
Yep.
you require a senior or the staff assistant to be on field. So I would say minimum, it depends. If a smaller size of the entity, it
Mm.
require maybe a minimum 3 person in the team, including the signing partner, including myself, right? So
Okay.
in teamwork is very important. So I would tend to cover more, you know, through on from this area through my interview.
Okay. Do you look into traits like, do they answer your interview questions with
Some of the
more?
questions they don't have right or wrong answer, right?
Yeah.
It usually depends on how the candidate, how confident they are,
Yeah.
how well in their communications, you know, in responding uh, to my questions. So these are
Okay.
the area that I will actually look at.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So students, you heard Eric. If you are in university, if you're going to university, make sure you joined up in all these extracurricular activities. It actually add on to your interview process. You need to be able to tell your interviewer what you are actually doing in university apart from studying. Everyone studies in university, right? But what makes you special? What other activities do you add value for yourself? Just like what Eric have said, adding value to yourself first before demanding more. Okay.
Yeah,
We have.
need to be very confident.
Yep.
Yeah, so don't be panic, you know, like, you know,
That's right.
can't
Okay.
can't really answer how, you know, the it
Okay.
must be in response in a very confident way.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, the company is investing in a future asset. Where I mean, the asset is human capital, right? And they want to keep that person for a very long time, and hence they want to know whether is this person able to carry out himself or herself properly. All
Yeah,
right,
that
Eric.
is very important. Yeah, Brian, you just brought up very important things to, you know, factors. So of course, when we do hiring, we want to consider whether this person really have interest in doing audit, or they just tend to come in, just probably want to stay 1 year or 2 years, then they will go out, you know, to
They probably
to
just
to
want
other
a
field.
resume with a big four on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw a questions asked by a student, I think Joey again, you know, what inspired me to be an accountant,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very good, good questions. I think just to be very honest to everyone here, you know,
Yeah.
when when before I really joined audit 10, 13 years ago when I first graduate,
Yeah.
I'm still thinking what do I really need to be in audit, right? Because I'm just like one of you here, thinking of that, audit is no work life balance, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you require very long hours. I think through that as well, but it happens to me that, there's I I I have friends. I have friends able to give me advice my friends in audit as well.
That's right.
He given me his advice, and I decided to join Deloitte in for my career. So so when I join, and when I start to expose myself to audit, I I I see a lot of different things.
Yep.
I changed my mind eventually. So at
Mm.
first, I would say, like, just like everyone, maybe one of you here may thought of, I will just stay in audit for 1 to 3 years. I'm just like everyone of you here. But
Mm.
after few years, 2 to 3 years, when I become a senior level, when I start to move to different levels, start to expose more difficult engagements, I still continue learning. Even up to today, I'm still learning. So that's the interesting thing that actually makes me to continue to stay uh, in audit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Right.
there are so many things to learn.
Okay. Yeah. And
So
like what you say, you have
yeah,
different accounting standards every few years, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, accountants, to me, you by doing not just audit. I mean, by if you have in doing accountants, I mean, by doing accounting,
Yeah.
you basically have a good knowledge about how well the company perform by looking at the numbers, by
Right.
looking you know by you can do some analysis. If you are a person that know about the market, right? If you look at the listed company, you want to analyze this company whether they have future, whether they are performing well or not, so as an accountant, you basically have very good knowledge into that area.
So you possess these kind of skills along the way because of your audit exposure, right?
Yeah, correct,
Because you,
correct. Because you get to, like I say, you get to expose yourself to different industry,
yeah,
and through this period you get to learn how to look at the numbers, whether the number fluctuate. You tend to be very sensitive to very details,
yeah,
very small amount change you can notice, right?
that's that's
Why the revenue increase so much, why the gross profit margin increase or decrease, so these are the things that you become very alert to that numbers. And
okay.
also you learn like there are many other skill that you develop, not just numbers, like I say,
Mm,
the other skill like communication skill, how
right.
you build relationship with your colleagues, internally and externally as well. You have to build relationship with your client as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay. Very, very, very valid response. I hope Zoe, we managed to answer your question of how Eric aspired to be an accountant. I think a lot of it is trial and error, like what we do every day of our lives. I think it's sometimes it's very difficult to really say, oh, I wanted to be an accountant when I was 5 years old. I mean, everyone wants to be a doctor, a lawyer, a policeman,
Yeah.
yeah, and not really an accountant. Not yeah, it's not really the first few things that comes out of your mind, right? um okay, so we have about a few more minutes into our life today. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Eric, if you have anything related to accounting, please leave your questions. Okay, we are going to take one last wave of questions, and then we are good to go, right? So I also heard, Eric, I also heard big accounting firms like Big Four actually sponsor professional studies. That means they actually sponsor your staff, your employee to further their study acquire their chartered accountant. Is that true, Eric?
Um,
Mm.
my time there's options. There's
Okay.
options. I think I'm not very sure right now. It has changed. You know,
Okay.
during my time, is given options whether you want the firm to sponsor you for your professional studies. You know,
Okay.
if yes, if yeah, I think it come with conditions, right? If you want the firm to sponsor you, then probably you need to
Is that
get bond,
yeah?
yeah, to be
Mm,
contract. You know, I mean, to be bond to the company for number of years.
that's right.
Uh, you can't leave the firm if you choose to leave earlier before the bond. You need to pay
Pay.
back the bond. Yeah, pay back to what? Yeah,
I think it's like a scholarship, right?
correct.
Scholarship out there.
Yeah,
There are a lot of scholarship for bond. You look at Petronas scholarships, UEM scholarships,
yeah,
um, Axis scholarships. All comes with bond, right? So,
yeah. We also
um,
give study leave.
yep, study leave.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
How long of a study leave do you take when you were doing your CPA?
I because CPA I have 6 people. I took about 1 week for one paper. I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
6 weeks total.
1 week to 2 weeks. Depends. Sometimes normally
Okay,
1 week to study.
okay, okay. So you just study 1 week before the exam?
Yeah,
All right. Okay, okay. And I think this is very important to us as well. Eric, I just want to ask is will technology, okay, will technology, we're talking about AI, big data, data science, all of these things, right? Will technology one day replace professional accountants? That means they replace professional accountants like how self-driving cars, self-driving trucks replace drivers, like how automated manufacturing replace factory workers. Will one day this happens?
yeah. I would say yes. I would say one day will be happen, but I don't know when will it be, because
Yeah,
even now we have the technology moving towards AI,
correct.
right? So it's an automated system, right? You know, is it's like basically you upload the financial data into the system.
Yeah,
You know, the system will help you to perform the audit. That is
right.
a possible way, but I think in short in the short term, I think we still rely on all the professional accountant, because it still
Right.
require a lot of judgments. Yeah,
Okay.
it still
Okay.
require a lot of human, you know, by applying all the judgment and analysis is required.
That's right.
Yeah,
Because I think it's a human touch
yeah.
and accountability, which is why you were saying you are one of the signee, right? The what do you call it? The
Signing
audits
director.
signing director, right? Um, so without a signing director, the computer signs it. Who's accountable for it? Yeah. So I think that's one form of how to say, one form of things that technology probably can't replace. Yeah.
Mm,
Uh, Even though right now we are seeing technology easing a lot on accounting work. There are accounting softwares out there. We don't need to buy, the big old journal book to jot down our
yeah,
bookkeeping records and things like that. It's all in software, and yeah, it actually helps make things easier and simpler, right? So, but we never know what the future will hold, right? Maybe the AI is so powerful that it is smarter than a chartered accountant. Never know. We
yeah.
never know, right? So, okay, so that's it for our session today. Thank you so much to you, Eric, for
Thanks,
spending
Brian.
just 1 hour. Even during your public holiday, this is your holiday, man. This is your time. You spend time with your family, and you're spending time with me. Talking to students about career in accounting. Thank you so much,
Thank
Eric.
you. Thanks,
And
Brian.
before we end our session today, okay, I actually have a quick fire Q&A. This is a small game that I play with all of our guest speaker. Okay, so basically,
Okay.
Eric, you can't think. Okay, I want you to choose immediately. right? I will give
All
you
right.
two choices and you choose. All right? All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, quick fire Q&A. Question one. Eric, would you rather have wealth or knowledge?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay. Money not important now. Okay. Would you rather travel the world? You can only choose one, okay? Would you rather travel the world or have a lot of good food?
Travel the world.
Okay, you want to travel the world? Would you rather work from home or work in office?
Work in office.
Okay, why? Why would you? Why would you prefer to work in office?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say more focus. Of course, if I have to choose, work from home will be better because I get to spend more time with my family.
yeah.
That is really important. But of course, you know,
But productivity
when
wise,
working in office, you tend to be more focused because you when working from home, you get basically get interrupted by some of the actually the kids who come and distract when I have meetings and all that. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Going to office gives you, oh, okay, I'm actually going to work. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So next,
But in this new normal, of course, we have to adapt to the change. By working from home will be is a thing moving forward, right? Even though when doing audit, when I talk to my teams, right now as in this environment, we it's not recommended to have face-to-face meeting.
yeah,
So we tend to have a lot of FaceTime like
right. Face
this.
Zoom
Talk to the
call.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's
Correct.
right. Yeah, I think that's the new normal. Every industry is adopting right now. Yeah, everyone is very afraid of that virus infection. Yeah, which is why we do this show tonight as well. We normally do talks in schools. Just for your information. Okay. Next question. Tell me your greatest achievement in work.
Yeah, my greatest achievement in work is to have to manage a very big team.
Okay.
So, which is very difficult part in managing, because you have to manage different people. When different team members have different capability, and some of them they may come from other country as well, like Philippines, or they are from Vietnam. So yeah, in terms of communications part may not be so easy.
Yeah.
So these are the challenging parts, that you 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 learn throughout the period. Yeah,
Okay.
and of course, if come to work,
Yeah.
my achievement is of course doing complete the audit for the public listed company.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So providing accountability for your clients, right?
yeah.
What do you think is the toughest task in your work? The toughest.
My toughest task, I would say, dealing with difficult client.
Okay.
My very bad experience and also very good experience is when I have to deal with a very difficult client. They may say a lot of bad things directly in front of you. So when they talk to you, they even point fingers. They will like that. It that time I still remember very clearly because that time I'm still like a senior level or
Okay.
senior level or assistant manager. So
Right. Right.
when I face that, so I tend to put a lot of emotions into it. But but I now I think back, actually it's very good experience.
Okay.
So because we don't want to affect by these people. There are different way in handling all these clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have to manage it differently. So these are the experience and the skill that I learned, by doing all that.
Yes, yes, I'm pretty sure that is good experience, and it's a good story to tell your teammate as well, just in case
Yeah.
they have a similar client as well. So I would like to think some companies are very defensive from auditors, right? So they're like, which is why, hence, it explains their aggression. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
some people may not appreciate the work that you do.
yeah, because auditors is always to examine and look between the lines, right? So maybe yeah, the companies tend to be very defensive. Okay, last question from my quick fire Q&A. If you can only choose one, okay, there's only two options. The first one is you get a job that pays you well but you're not happy, or you get a job that pays you poorly but you're very happy. Which one
Can
will
I
you choose?
choose low pay but happy?
Wow. Okay. Low pay but happy. But I'm pretty sure you are very happy with your work, and I'm pretty sure that you are earning pretty decently. So
Yeah. Yes, I
congratulations.
do. Like again, I want to go back to the questions that you asked earlier about work long hours, right? But
Mm,
to me, if you like your job,
yeah.
it's you do something that you like.
Yeah.
To this to me, work long hours will not be a questions for you.
Okay. All right.
Correct.
Yeah.
You do something that you like. Obviously you put in more effort.
Yeah.
You
That's
don't mind putting more hours into it.
right. Yeah. Mm, that's right. That's right. That's just like I really like speaking to students. I love helping students talk about careers, which is why I don't mind working in public holidays. I don't mind speaking for free in schools. Yeah, I think something is money can't buy, right? There are some
Yes.
things that
All right.
because it fulfills you internally, that something money can't buy. Eric, before we end our stream today, we actually have a last minute question from Zoe. Um, yeah, and if you look at it, Zoe asks, if an accounting student study overseas, but when they came back to their own country to work, do they need to take any test? You mean COVID-19 test? No, I think you mean professional certification test, right? Yeah.
So I would say if I would interpret his question, the question is if you complete your professional study in overseas, if you come back to Malaysia, you'll be recognized. Like let's say is if I completed my CPA in Australia,
Yeah,
when I back in Malaysia, this CPA will be recognized
that's
by
right.
Malaysia as well.
That's
So
right.
you don't need to take a separate test
That's right.
for that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Zoe, to answer your question too, right? Um, like Eric's case is CPA Australia, and CPA Australia is well recognized by MIA. So what happened is, if you go to what MIA is the body that governs all chartered accountants in Malaysia. Okay, you should go check out MIA website. Is the Malaysia Institute of Accountants, and find out what are all their recognized bodies. Okay, so there are certain countries that they recognize, there are certain countries that they don't recognize, but I will say all the mainstream countries, the countries that students study there, very often very popular, places like UK, Australia, America. Yeah, so most of these professional bodies are actually recognized, to answer your question, Zoe. So no worries on that. So I hope this answers your questions, and I hope all of you learned a thing or two today. Thank you so much, Eric, for your time once again. We really appreciate it, because it's a really rare opportunity to be able to speak to the lead audit director of a Big Four company, right?
Yeah.
So I wish
Thanks.
all of you have a great time here today. And if you are still wondering whether should I do accounting, whether is accounting job still in demand, there is actually a statistic by the Malaysian Institute of Accountants, MIA. It is a statistics released a few years back. They wanted to achieve 60,000 professional accountants by year 2020, and it's year 2020 today. and this number is not achieved yet. So, to be honest, Malaysia is a growing economy, and um, we are still trying to achieve it for professional accountants. We need more professional accountants than ever to help our economy to prosper and grow. So more businesses will come invest in our country because we have a proper financial system in Malaysia, and that is the goal for MIA. If you have any questions related to professional accounting, related to accounting, or you have any questions for Eric that, oops, I wanted to ask this, but it's too late, you can actually just drop us an inboxes. Let us know what's your question. If you want to know more about further studying and accounting, inboxes, let us know, and we will try to answer all of your questions. All right. Thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes, I hope you enjoy the rest of the night. Since it's
You
still a
too.
holiday. Yes, thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.